So Chelmsford on Saturday, 1-1 draw. Been back in the office, back into training. How are things going with everyone after that one?
Yeah, listen, I've got to be honest, we've got a calendar on the whiteboard. We've still got 4 weeks to go. So we've had a real good 2 weeks. Some of the bits that they've done in training have been shown out in the games. And I've not been fortunate enough to watch the game back. So my recollection from the first half, I felt that we were very positive. A lot of deliveries into the box, hitting all the areas that we want to hit. I felt that we were kind of dominant to an extent in the first half. They didn't really cause us many problems. I think we were the making of one of two that allowed them to get a half chance. I thought that we fouled too often in our own half, which allowed them to angle balls into Dave Winfield, who's very productive with heading balls back across goal or onto goal. So there was little bits that you could probably pick apart, but I thought in the main, the first half, we were really positive. The thing with that is we weren't clinical enough. I've got Cabs, Mendy and Tyrone Marsh that spring to mind straight away that should have probably scored from deliveries in the box. But yeah, I thought the first half was really well worked, and some of the bits that we did, we've spoke about today and addressed. I felt the second half, as I did after the game, I thought it was disjointed, but you make 6 changes at the half, I think it's going to have that effect. And to get a foothold in the game for the boys that are coming on is hard. Yet on Brentford, I felt that the second half performance, the first 10, 15 minutes were really good until they scored their second. So there's no rhyme or reason for what the outcome is, whether they start the game or the second half team go on. But yeah, I think the exercise on Saturday was well worth it. I felt we looked strong. I spoke to their manager, who felt we were bright, we looked fit, we looked strong, looked well drilled in areas. And again, yeah, there's an area that we're getting exposed from. I had the back line in today doing positional specific stuff, and we worked on it, and there was an attitude towards defending in the session. So yeah, this is the process. The next 4 weeks is to gear up for Weymouth on the 21st of August. So I have a plan in place for people in their times tomorrow. They're going to be extended to about a 60-minute period. And we're going into the 3rd week of pre-season, and we've still got well over 3 weeks until we nail down a team for Weymouth on the 21st of August.
And you kind of touched upon it there. Defensively, is that what you've been working mainly on in training, or is there still fitness work going on?
So they've still done their runs today. So they're up to 83 metres, the top group, on a Eurofit, which is 10% further than what they started in the first week of pre-season. The second group are up by 7 metres, which is again another 10% on what they were at the start. And Dave Stevens bumped up a group, so we didn't have the bottom group today. Steve, I said in the interview, I think he's done really well. He's buying right into what we want to do here. He spoke to the S&C boys today about his diet and the medical team. They've got a dietary plan for him. So yeah, I'm seeing an ethic towards working hard, and that's what they're doing. This 3rd week will still consist of a lot of runs prior to their session. Again, I believe it was 7 kilometres clocked today was the peak. The average was about 5.8. And I keep saying it, to have the period that we've had 3 games in the 7 days, and we're still looking to clock 6 to 7 kilometres in match day -1 prior to a game against Enfield. And there'll be boys that will fundamentally be playing 60 minutes tomorrow. There'll be boys playing 90. But yeah, it's about getting a bit of bass into their legs and their lungs, but they're seeing the benefits. And I honestly believe that. You look in the first half against a team that was 11v11, you're not making that vast amount of changes in the National League game. Those sides are. Then they go and change on the 60-minute mark on Saturday, as did Brentford and Luton in the previous games. It's a bit forced. Whereas I believe playing Enfield tomorrow, I can imagine they're 10 days away from their season starting. So they've got to be in and around giving boys 90. So I think it's going to be a great test for us, because fundamentally it's going to be 2 sides that are edging closer. Enfield obviously closer to what their start of their season looks like. But again, it's great for us. It's the building blocks. And we've worked on defending. organisational stuff. Set pieces against is massive. We've worked on that on a daily basis. And I keep harping on about the stats that we concede on set plays, but I think that's a massive factor in the National League. And then it will start to creep over the halfway line on pitches and patterns and what we're expecting from certain individuals and having an attitude towards attacking as well as anything. So, yeah, they're working hard. And I watched Cabs' interview on Saturday saying about the work that we're doing in training. Yeah, I genuinely believe there's a benefit to what we do. I genuinely believe we've seen that in the games against Luton and Brentford, where I don't think we tire. Fitness-wise, we don't tire. I think we look strong. And again, on Saturday, if we was to go 11v11 for that whole period, I think we finished the game stronger. So there is most definitely method to my madness. But yeah, currently organisational side, set pieces fundamentally. We've started a new thing called the Breakfast Club here, where we're getting defensive units together, midfield units together, forward units together, and working on 25 to 30 minutes pre-session just to get habits into them. So that's going to be a continuous throughout this pre-season and the start of the season, and hopefully we start to see the benefits moving forward.
And Enfield on Tuesday, first game against 2 leagues below. So Chelmsford was National League South. These guys are in Isthmian Prem. What's the difference in levels between the National League and the Isthmian leagues?
I'll be lying to say if I knew. I think that clinicality, I think the higher you go up, that's where people win and lose games in their boxes. You see Ivan Toney, who's now Premier League striker, drags it. He's 20 yards out on the angle and he wraps it post and in. And I feel that you see on Saturday where Simeon Jackson goes through 3v3, tries the same skill, and he goes wide of the mark. So, and I'm talking about this Simeon Jackson who's played at the level. So, yeah, I think that it's very much about clinicality, decision-making. With regards to Enfield, it's nice to go there. Why? Because we've got a relationship with Mario Noto, who was a massive part of this football club in its growth when he came in as a player. We probably wouldn't have been in the Conference South, let alone the National League, if it weren't for him at Averley away, and he's leapfrogging James Russell Tony Tucker to clear it off the line to ensure that we got promoted that year. And then Scotty Thomas also that is there, that he come through with us in the Conference South year and played a massive part. I know there's Mo Fowl there, but he only really come through as an academy player. But yeah, they're going to be a tough outfit. They got Lee Chappell who can launch a throw, so I can imagine that's going to be utilised tomorrow night. And it sets us up. Why? Because we know what Carline does at Chesterfield. We know what boys do across the board in the National League with long throws. It's a set piece, and it allows for you to go and get first contact in the opposition box. So, yeah, I don't see or envisage it's going to be easy. We just got to stick to what we're doing and our beliefs and continue with our process, because for me, they've been really good the last 2 weeks. And again, today's session, we worked on certain details which I picked apart on Saturday that I felt could have improved. And we worked on it today. And we'll keep doing that. We'll keep trying to improve as a group, kind of build on what we've done previously. And as the games go on, so we've still got 4 games. It's mad that we could potentially have a 5th on August the 14th. So we're probably not even 30-40% way through our pre-season. So there's going to still be ring rust. I looked at it. I think the boys have played in excess of 60+ games in the last 52 weeks. And that's because they've had 3 pre-seasons. So there's a lot of factors that I look at and ensure that no one's overworked and overplayed. And that's something that myself and the management are doing. But I honestly believe we're building something here. There's a good group, a good core, and hopefully that continues tomorrow night against Enfield. The mentality is exactly what it was in the first half against Chelmsford. There's a little bit more killer in both boxes, because the goal we scored was brilliant. The goal we conceded wasn't good enough. And I spoke to the group. They have an honest assessment of their individual game and obviously their collective game, and that was something we spoke about. And I've been sharing stats with them with regards to interceptions and blocks and least amount of shots on goals in the National League, and I think we're top and second in that. So they do have an attitude towards defending. I honestly believe that. I've set them tasks this year with where I see that group, whoever goes in, what personnel, whether a 3 or a 4, we need to ensure that we're organised at the back and we're very yeah, well drilled to the extent where we don't concede sloppy goals.